Hey guys, how's it going? It's Josh back again with another Retro Redux video, and today we're talking about the classic superhero film, the film that defines a generation. It defines women, it defines black women, it defines, it's just the perfect movie to talk about on the Retro Redux series. We're talking about Catwoman. If you don't know what the Retro Redux series is, let me fill you in. The Retro Redux is a series that I started in which I go back in time, whether it be 60 years ago or 6 months ago, anything in between that time period, and I watch a bunch of old animated science fiction or comic book movies, anything in that bubble, anything that falls into that nerd bubble. We watch it and I give you my modern day views and opinions on it. Now, we're talking about Catwoman starring Halle Berry. Yes, Halle Berry, the Halle Berry. I'm gonna keep associating her name with this film. I'm going to make sure y'all remember she made this film because I have to remember that she made this film. The movie is about a marketing team's lead art director named Patience working for a beauty line called Buline. Eventually, Patience is actually killed after hearing a shady meeting between the scientists and the CEO at Buline talking about the after effects of their new product. It destroys your face if you're not using it, but if you are continually using it, it gives you bulletproof skin and a couple of migraines. Now, let's just talk about the movie. I'm not even into the preamble this go around. They didn't try too hard making this movie, and I'm not gonna try too hard talking about it. Patience Phillips is the main character. She's played by Halle Berry, aka Catwoman. Yes, Halle Berry is Catwoman, by the way. Let's just talk about it. Catwoman is supposed to be attractive. She's supposed to be lusty, Listen, man, if anybody can make Batman fold, it's this woman, right? Well, no, you would be wrong. Batman doesn't show up in this movie at all. In fact, this isn't in Gotham. This has no relation to any DC thing ever except for this small photo of Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns, and that's pretty much it. And oh my gosh, I think this movie actually birthed my hatred of the Catwoman character in Batman mythos, because by the time she gets the powers, 90% of her dialogue becomes puns or her delivering in this weird way.
I'm Patience Phillips.
And it is so cringe that I couldn't take it. This isn't a superhero movie. This isn't I don't know. I'm having a difficult time here. It's hard to explain. She becomes a Catwoman after, like I said, nearly getting murdered for witnessing a shady meeting that she wasn't supposed to witness.
Close your eyes, girl.
And then was revived by a cat who's been stalking her for the past couple days for some reason. It's explained that the Catwoman mythos is a thing where the universe selects random women across time in order to be Catwoman, to represent the duality of man and the morality of the human species. It's just a bunch of bullshit. She becomes Catwoman for shenanigans and tomfoolery, and now we're here. She's this sexy Catwoman. It's pretty much the trope of the nerd girl takes off the glasses so everyone, finally sees how pretty and attractive she is. That maybe could work for an actress who, at first glance isn't that conventionally attractive, but we're talking about Halle Berry here. Even when she's supposed to be in her ugly, invisible girl phase, she's still one of the most attractive women you'll ever see in your lifetime. So it's just kind of bleh. I get it. She's a black woman, but can they at least have some fucking respect and not just give her a stereotypical black woman score? It's like that little joke about the Parkers from Family Guy playing over random bits of music. This movie is stupid. It's not a smart movie. None of the decisions characters make in this movie make sense or are smart. At this point, I'd usually do the stereotypical, oh man, I'm simping for her joke that I would, because come on, it's fucking Halle Berry. She does so many things at the beginning of this movie where I'm like, yeah, you could kill her. She's dumb. Nobody will miss her. After seeing that secret meeting in which you could see the product is destroying faces or whatever, they try to kill her. You know, the secret security organization that works for the main villain in this movie, which for some reason they try to paint it or display it as a twist, but it doesn't work. We see immediately that the villain of the film is Sharon Stone, and to be honest with you, I'm starting to think that they named Sharon Stone the villain of this film halfway through production, because they were like, holy shit, your last name is Stone, the main villain's power is that her skin essentially turns into stuff, you have to be the villain. Because to be honest with you, they could have just made the Merovingian or whatever bro's name is from the Matrix as the main villain. It really wouldn't change anything, I guess, for the, you know, the final battle fight scene or whatever, but I mean, that was kind of unnecessary. I mean, we'll get there when we get there, right? But back to Patience. Patience is she's dumb, and the source of her powers is dumb. She essentially gets these cat abilities because this stray cat that's been stalking her for these past few days for some reason has the ability to discern whether or not that, you know, she's a good enough person to be imbued with these special abilities, I guess. Imagine the destiny aspect of being Spider-Man is what, you know, is introduced in this movie. There's a destiny related to being a Catwoman for some reason. I don't know why. We could have just had, you know, a woman who's really good at stealing stuff. If I remember correctly though, the Batman Returns Catwoman has a very similar origin where like she nearly dies and then cats give her abilities, but that's like a Tim Burton thing. There's a clear direction there with the entire Batman franchise and universe. It's very science fiction, fantasy based, whereas this is just the world that we're being introduced to. So it's very jarring to see that, especially when you remember this isn't connected to the Tim Burton movies at all. But you know, that's fine. You know, she Googles Catwoman. And the way she Googles stuff is so cringe. You could tell that the people who make movies, especially around this time, have never used Google in their lives. When she becomes Catwoman, she starts doing cat things. Not like, oh, cutesy, fetishy, doing cat things to, you know, make men fall for her, like, you know, the whole point of Catwoman. She actually, like, literally behaves like a cat. She hisses at dogs. Oh man, look at all these tuna cans she's eating. She's a cat, get it? I love that when she actually goes to tell her neighbors to turn the music down, the other cat is like, show them who you are. You know, my biggest critique of this movie honestly has to come from the fact that they treat her like she's just the simple girl next door that no man could really pay attention to or truly appreciate. It's Halle Berry, dude, come on. But she's kind of fucking stupid, so you know, it balances out. I guess that's the most realistic part of this. For example, she tries to save a cat from a side of a building before she has any cat abilities, and she's doing this while standing on an air conditioner barefoot. A grown woman standing on an air conditioner, nearly like, I guess, 3 stories up. Then she implicates herself the entire movie, especially when the Catwoman thing becomes a little bit more in the public eye. She completely implicates herself to her boyfriend a bunch of times like an idiot. Her boyfriend, the cop, might be even dumber than her. There's a whole section where he just doesn't know who Catwoman is, and he figures it out by like synthesizing handwriting. Yeah, it's that type of movie. They try to introduce the guy as like a really good guy, like a paragon of justice, but having his introduction scene be in a classroom talking to a bunch of kids. Bitch, what are you doing here? Her best friend is Lois Griffin, and her character trait is she's always horny. She also gives Catwoman her freaky ass costume, so I guess she's the Alfred of this story, or I don't know, maybe, you know, what, I don't know. I'm trying, all right? This movie didn't try, and I have to try to make funny commentary and, you know, funny insights and stuff, but it's impossible. This whole movie is just one of those, you just have to see it to believe it. It's so bad. Like, when she wakes up with powers, she's seeing things like in 4 fucking D. It's just like, oh man, get it, look at all these powers I have. It is the lamest attempt at a Spider-Man origin you've ever seen. It's like if Batman got attacked by bats and were bitten by a couple of them and then became Batman. So yeah, like I said, Lois Griffin gives her freaky ass costume, and I mean, she's hot, but then like she gets another costume later on which is way worse. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. Can we have some I don't know, respect for women If you know me, you never thought those words would ever exit my mouth, but geez, this movie is just terrible. Then we get into more of the supporting cast. We got the cat lady. The cat lady actually gives patients information and education on how she became a cat person, and it's even dumber than you could ever predict or imagine. Like, seriously, it's just one of those things you gotta see to believe at how cringe it is. It feels like a really bad Disney movie. And we got the villains. The first villain, we got the CEO of the company. Turns out he's not even the villain of the movie itself. He's actually just a dick who hits women, and in the process of hitting women learns that his wife is actually the villain, who has impenetrable skin. Really has just like an overall convoluted plot to implicate Catwoman in the crime of, I guess, the murder of her husband and shit like that. I mean, this movie's dumb. We'll talk about Laurel. Laurel has the special abilities from using the product. It seems like her whole plight this movie is that her husband is attempting to replace her because she's old now, so he's trying to get like a new face of the brand introduced for the beauty line or whatever. But my thing is, if the whole point of the beauty line is to have like anti-aging cream, reverse aging cream, whatever, wouldn't you want someone who is older, maybe in their late 40s or 50s, showing that the product actually works as opposed to a 20-year-old using it? Like, that really doesn't make much sense to me, but hey, we're here. In all honesty, I'm shitting on this movie, but to give it credit, it's actually a cool way to introduce an original villain. Like, it's not a bad idea. It's just everything else around it is really stupid, and I'm actually appreciative that they tried to do something with the Catwoman character and give her her own villain. You know, A for effort, I guess, but everything else surrounding it, the circumstances, how we get here, is just really stupid. This might be the worst final battle. Like, I say that I feel like almost every other week when I review a bad movie. I said that for Fantastic Four in the last video. Like, that was a dog shit final battle, right? But the CGI in this movie is some of the worst you'll ever see. And I'm not even kidding. I get it. This is a time where CGI wasn't that great, but in the midst of CGI, we had things like Spider-Man, and a bunch of other colorful characters from comic books in which, when it was animated and they looked slightly off or inhuman, uncanny valley types, it made sense. Here it looks so bad and it's terrifying to look at that you will lose your mind. Just look out for it. It's nightmare fuel. Oh my god, did she just surf this nigga? And the editing is no better. The editing in this movie ranges from just generically shot, perfectly fine, serviceable movie, to what the fuck is happening? Like, seriously, it turns so schizophrenic. And to be honest with you, like I said, I don't know why there's any scenes of this movie ever filmed outside. It takes you out of the film. It is so dog shit water. Like, it's clearly filmed on a set, and not like how Spider-Man was filmed on a set where there's tons of ambiance and the volume of extras makes it feel like you're actually in a metropolitan area. It makes you actually feel like you're in Times Square or in various parts of Manhattan. Here, you don't know where you're at. It feels very shallow, very surface level, like someone just said, hey, we're pretending to make a movie, everyone pretend to make a movie. But yeah, what did you guys think? How did you guys feel about this movie? I don't know. I thought I would have way more to say about this movie. I thought I would have plenty of shit to talk about here, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that this movie just isn't good, right? Oh man, they thought they ate with that little transition edit, didn't they? But what did you guys think of Catwoman? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Does this deserve to be considered one of the worst superhero movies of all time? I mean, I don't know, dude. It's bad, but one of the worst? I mean, it's watchable in a bad way. You could turn this into a great drinking game. And it's not bad in terms of like, oh, this is so cringe. They're so serious. I don't think anyone truly took this movie serious, or at least I hope they didn't. But yeah. That's pretty much it for the Retro Redux on this one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next Retro Redux. Bye-bye.